This episode is brought to you by Global X. Since 2008, Global X ETFs has been committed to empowering investors with unexplored, intelligent solutions. Global X specializes in exchange-traded funds that offer exposure to the artificial intelligence ecosystem, including themes like data centers, robotics, semiconductors, and cloud computing. To learn more about Global X's entire suite of ETFs, from covered calls, fixed income, emerging markets, and more, visit globalxetfs.com. This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means? It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop early holiday deals now.
This is Optimal Finance Daily. Don't sweat petty stuff and don't pet sweaty stuff by Dave of accidentalfire.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. This podcast is actually one of multiple shows in our network covering different topics like personal development, health, and relationships. So if you like narration style podcasts, be sure to search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this and check out our other shows. But for now, let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. Don't sweat petty stuff and don't pet sweaty stuff by Dave of accidentalfire.com. In my journey to F.I.R.E, if I've learned one thing, it's that the big stuff will kill you. This is true across many aspects of life. Objects falling from the sky, bears and moose. And if you can finish this 4-pound cheeseburger, you get it free offers. When it comes to expenses, what's the big stuff? For me, the big stuff boiled down to how much I paid every month for a roof over my head and wheels. I came out of college with no student loans. Hoorah for state school. And I have no children. Of course, your results may vary. Now, before you protest, I realize many folks have other big stuff expenses that include ongoing medical costs or caring for an ill family member. I understand that, but for the purpose of this post, I'd like to discuss the two things that virtually every American needs: the roof and the wheels. Wheels being very arguable if you live in an urban area with great mass transit or can bike around, but roll with me here. Drink up. Many assume a frugal lifestyle lacks joy. No morning cappuccino? No dinners out on the town? No thanks. I'd like to offer that my path to F.I.R.E had plenty of those things and many more, like beer and bourbon. So the F.I.R.E community is now asking, how did you become F.I.R.E while violating those core rules? Or, I knew it, you're a trust fund kid. Nope, no trust fund here. I did it by focusing on the roof and the wheels. I saw in my early 20s, through a quick evaluation of simple math, that the roof and the wheels were taking up most of my budget. My underdeveloped brain told me that if I could save the maximum amount on those two things, I'd be in the winning column. It's that simple. Sure, saving $60 a month by quitting the cappuccino habit is great. That's $720 a year. But not having a $450 car payment every month in perpetuity saves $5,400 per year. Edumacation taught me that $5,400 is greater than $720 by a lot. That made my cappuccinos taste even better. And as time went on, the BMWs and Audis of the world kept looking uglier and uglier to me. Why? Because they took the virtual joy of the cappuccinos out of my brain. And for that, I would not stand. It's about choices. I made mine based on the size of the mathy-ness involved. Let's talk about the house. Sure, I had some luck. I bought in an upward market, but here's the key. I stayed in it as my career progressed and I kept making more money. I didn't lifestyle inflate. I didn't try to keep up with the Joneses, 'cause I hate the friggin' Joneses. I refinanced 3 times to minimize my costs, and I was content. I love my home. It's my little sanctuary. At 1,400 square feet, I realize it's smaller than the walk-in closets of many new suburban McMansions, but that's fine by me. Call me a stoic, call me a minimalist, whatever. I call me happy and content, and I buy boutique bourbon. And I also call me financially independent, largely because of this one choice. My monthly mortgage is way less than it was 16 years ago, while at the same time, I make way more money. I've been saving the difference, of course, and putting those employees, my money, to work for me. Turns out those little buggers breed when you put them in the right fund. If I bought a new house in my area now, any new house, my mortgage would be well over twice what it is now. Why would I do that when I'm content with my house now? A place to live is personal. If you'd like to get into the own versus rent debate, I won't take you up on that. Much has been written about that, but the bottom line is that some things can't be measured quantitatively, like a sense of home or community. I see both sides of the debate and can totally see myself renting in the future when the time and circumstances are right. For me, 16 years ago, buying was the right thing to do, and I'm thankful I followed my hunch. Simple rough math tells me that I've saved over $180,000 of my own money in the past 16 years by not upgrading to a bigger, more lifeless, less cozy, and totally unnecessary house. That's a conservative estimate. And since that money has been invested the whole time, diligently working away like army ants, a decent estimate is that this one choice in life has banked over $400,000 into my net worth. Mic drop, walk off. As for cars, don't get me started. That's the next post. You just listened to the post titled, Don't Sweat Petty Stuff and Don't Pet Sweaty Stuff by Dave of accidentalfire.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Buy low, sell high. It's easy to say, hard to do. For example, high interest rates are crushing the real estate market right now. Demand is dropping and prices are falling, even for many of the best assets. It's no wonder the F.I.R.E flagship fund plans to go on a buying spree, expanding its billion-dollar real estate portfolio over the next few months. You can add the F.I.R.E flagship fund to your portfolio in just minutes and with as little as $10 by visiting fundrise.com/OFD. That's FUNDRISE.com/OFD. Carefully consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the F.I.R.E flagship fund before investing. This and other information can be found in the fund's prospectus at fundrise.com/flagship. This is a paid advertisement. I like that this article emphasizes a focus on the big changes that are going to make the biggest difference in one's finances. When it comes to optimizing your expenses, if you focus on the big three of housing, transportation, and food, you really don't have to sweat most other small purchases. This has worked out so well for my family that we no longer budget or stress about tracking every dollar we spend. Our mortgage is $600 per month because we live in a lower cost of living area, and I bought a house well below my means. We drive 2 fully paid off reliable cars and have set up our lives in a way that we don't do all that much driving. And I cook most of the meals we eat, mainly because I enjoy it, but also because it allows us to eat better than we would if we ate out all the time. And as an added bonus, it saves money. We also have the benefit of not being very materialistic, which certainly helps. But I think our focus on optimizing our spending on the big three allows us to not really think about the rest of our spending. We certainly have moments where we feel like we're going a little crazy, so we take a look. And without fail, we see that our net worth has continued to increase because we don't have debt dragging us down, and most of our money is making more money in the stock market. But that's a wrap for another Monday show. Have a great rest of your day and start to your week. And I'll be back tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.